Fasten your seatbelt, bitches, because I'll be talking about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker spoilers right here on Movies in a Nutshell. Hello everyone and welcome to Movies in a Nutshell, where we talk about movies in a quick way so you can get on with your day. I am your incredible host, Detective Artemis, and before we go on, you hit that thumbs up button because I know it, you know it, everyone in Alderaan knew it. You really want to like this, please? Today our movie once again will be Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. In this video, we'll be talking about spoilers, so if you haven't seen Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker yet, hit that watch it button on this video, go and watch the goddamn ending to the saga, and then come back in and join in the discussion. Go! Or if you don't give a shit about spoilers, sit back and let's talk. I wanted to start off with the things I liked about the movie first, but I know you guys don't hear all that negative shit, so I'm going to enable you. I'm only going to talk about the big things that happen in this movie because I don't have time to address every single flaw in this movie. Now, for years, I've been asking, who is Snoke?
And who is Snoke? Who the hell is Snoke? And who the fuck is Snoke? Who is he? JJ, you have some explaining to do. He looks like the Emperor's dick.
Hell, I even started the show reviewing The Last Jedi. Even wearing the same shirt. See? Full circle. Been a long 2 years. Well, I finally got my answer to who he is, and he's no one. He was just merely a puppet for Palpatine. He physically created him. He was a literal puppet. He even made his voice and everything. He was fucking with Kylo the whole time just so he could lure him into the dark side. I'm not your puppet, Palpatine. Now, I was completely unfazed by this, as his interesting character was totally buried here for sure. Nail in the coffin. Snoke was no one. Does not matter. Thank you, Andy Serkis, for stopping by. Luke and Anakin's lightsaber that just won't go away. Because how in the hell did Maz Kanata get it when Luke dropped it in Bespin back in Empire? When Rey asked her in The Force Awakens how did she get it, she's like, another day I'll tell you. Well, we never get that other day. So, there goes that. The Return of the Emperor was pretty cool at first, and I was actually really digging the look of the Sith tomb. But I did not like the way he returned. In Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine tells Anakin the story of Darth Plagueis, and how he learned how to cheat death with the Force, and then how Palpatine was his apprentice and he killed him to learn those secrets. I thought that would be a cool foreshadowing of how he came back, and they kind of hinted that he used the Force. But if he did, how did he survive that giant fall and return the Jedi, and then have enough time to escape the second Death Star before it blew up, flew himself to Exegol to that hidden planet, and then put himself on life support? Did he have help? Who helped him? Don't give me that Force shit. Also, if he was working in the shadows for the past 30 years, why did he make him construct a Starkiller base? If he had a fleet of planet-destroying Star Destroyers the whole time, were they not ready in time? I call bullshit. Now, the biggest reveal in this movie was that Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. Ew, that only means one thing. Somebody banged Palpatine. I feel sorry for that person. What was that like? Oh, it's feeling good. I don't want to imagine it, but I just did. It was another reveal that had no impact on me whatsoever. We knew nothing of her parents except that they sold her to protect her because Palpatine wanted to get her and show her the ways to the dark side. There weren't any clues to this throughout the two movies, so it really seemed like they pulled it right out their ass. And apparently Luke and Leia knew the whole time. Dicks. This should have been revealed in The Last Jedi so that way we have enough time to process it, and that way the whole movie can start off with how she's gonna take this new news. Because that's what they did in Empire when Luke found out Vader's dead. So I feel like another missed opportunity that could have been, executed better. Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, dies after he sacrifices his last life force to save Rey. And then when he dies, Leia dies, and they both become Force ghosts to be in Force heaven with Han Solo, who's not a Force ghost, because he didn't learn the Force. So is he in like regular heaven and they're in like Force heaven, or they're in limbo? I don't fucking know. But Ben did not need to die. I thought he had the best arc, and since he died, there goes the actual Skywalker bloodline. I mean, he redeemed himself enough after that emotionally heavy reunion with Han Solo. You're crying, not me. Nope. So again, another character killed for no real reason. So with all the Skywalkers dead and Rey being a Palpatine, why is this movie called The Rise of Skywalker? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because Rey denounces her last name and takes up the mantle as a Skywalker. Yeah. She does it because Luke and Leia give her their blessing via Force Ghost. They're like, oh, it's okay, honey. We barely knew you, but you could take up our last name. That's totally fine. I hated this the most. I mean, you can't just insert yourself as a Skywalker just because, you don't like your last name. I don't care whose blessing you have. You certainly didn't get mine. You didn't earn that. No offense. A little bit. It just really felt so forced. Like, why couldn't she embrace her own last name? But sort of be a better version of it. Like, oh yeah, that was my grandpa, but I'm totally different. I'm way better than him. So that way we're not smothering the whole Palpatine name. Is Palpatine the galactic equivalent of Hitler? Maybe. But it's even dumber when Leia tells her earlier in the movie that, hey, never be afraid of who you are. Oh, okay, well I guess I'll just be a Skywalker then. Now after Leia died, Poe ranked on to be her successor as general, and Finn remained in the friend zone. He established his home there after we see Kylo and Rey kiss. He was never gonna get that, but hey, at least he tried. Also, at least he did a lot of work here, unlike in The Last Jedi. He was actually pretty cool, but I feel like Finn's character got treated the worst out of the main cast. He had a lot of potential, and it was wasted. I mean, it would be pretty cool to see a next stormtrooper use the Force. I mean, sure, there were hints of it, but not enough. Finn, you deserve better. Now on to the things that I liked. Finally, Chewbacca got his goddamn medal that he rightfully deserved. It's been over 30 years, but better late than never. My favorite unsung hero, Wedge, returned for a cameo to help do some more work in the sky. Now Wedge is awesome. He helped blow up 2 Death Stars while wearing the same clothes for the whole trilogy, and no one even remembered his name except me. I love you, Wedge. Thankfully, Lando did not die. He was great, and I would have lost my shit if he would have died. Now, Chewie almost died, but thankfully he didn't, which makes him the only character of the original trilogy to survive all 3 of these new movies. So congrats again, Chewie. You dodged another bullet, and now you can go back home to Lumpy. Sure, 3PO and R2 survived as well, but they weren't really on the battlefield as much as Chewie was. Again, I really liked how the Sith Temple in Exegon looked. It reminded me a lot of that one in Jedi Academy. And that game also had stormtroopers on jetpacks, and the power to use the Force to heal people, so I wasn't bothered by those things at all. It was also really cool to see them revisit old sets, like the abandoned Death Star and the Emperor's Chambers and Luke's home on Tatooine. So now when I see those movies, I'll be like, oh, there's a Wayfinder right there in the Emperor's Chambers. That's pretty cool. So it really shows a connection. So I like that. And how cool was it to see all those old dead stormtroopers in the fucking Death Star? I thought that was rad. Or like how when Rey goes to Tatooine back to Luke's home, you know, she goes to that same spot where we see Luke peek over to talk to his Aunt Beru. It was a little sad. It got me. And now I'm also craving some blue milk. And then she buries their lightsabers right there in their home world, I guess, also coming to a full circle. Even though Leia is not really from Tatooine, wasn't really born there either, but I get what they're trying to do. Also, when she buries the lightsabers, we see that she made her own lightsaber, a yellow one. That's cool. Just don't touch my green lightsaber. That's mine, and Luke's, and Yoda's, and Qui-Gon's. But also what didn't make sense is her next move. What is she gonna do? Gonna go train some people? Start a new academy like Luke tried to do? Find some more answers about her life or her past? Nothing, she just stands there. And roll credits. Now it's time for my final thoughts on this movie and this trilogy as a whole. Now the cool thing to do here is to shit on these movies because they ruined Star Wars. But really, they couldn't have been any better. Why? Because we hold the original trilogy so close to us, so high, that nothing could ever compare to it. Hell, not even Lucas can recapture the magic he did when he made the prequels. The Force Awakens at most was a fun movie, and The Last Jedi was a curveball that pissed off a lot of people. So did anyone really think that this movie was gonna be a masterpiece? No way. But they still did. The reason why I'm not bothered so much about it is because for me, and probably most people, the Skywalker saga ended with episode 6. Everything else is just Disney fan fiction. They wrote themselves in a corner with these ones, and it was also very clear that they didn't have a path to where they wanted to go with this story. And obviously, not everyone was on the same page. It was not handled like an MCU phase, which it should have been. But JJ did the best he could with what he had. And for this trilogy, it was a good ending, but as a whole, not so much. And also, we got to see the Ewoks again, so they gave us a pretty good happy ending for the most part, but it is no yub-nub. Now, what should have happened in this new trilogy is that it should have been new characters and new villains, and not kill off all our favorite characters, or have Palpatine be the main baddie again. We never got the reunion that we deserved, and every hero or villain in these movies were pretty much a different version of already established characters. There was nothing really new about them. They're almost like rebooted characters. But you know what? You can't please everyone. This year we saw the end of Game of Thrones, the Infinity Saga, and the Skywalker story. It's been a pretty sad 2019. But at least we have The Mandalorian. That shit is awesome, and you can very well expect a review from me on that one. So who's your favorite character in these movies? Vote in the poll above. And how would you write this trilogy? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this amazing channel. I am Detective Artemis, and I don't have a quote for you because none of these movies are quotable. That's a shame. So instead, happy holidays everyone, and I'll see you next time.